Hey everyone, it's Jessica Michaels here for Color Watch Studio, and I thought I would do some stash busting with this kit since this is my last layout of the month with the November kits. So I decided to show you my process for how I create a little tag mini album, and this is kind of how I started. I just cut out all the tags from the tag sheets in the kit. The kit features mostly the Hard Candy Christmas line by Simple Stories, but also some Paige Evans and Vicki Boutin as well. So I've taken the tag sheets, cut them all apart, and just grabbed a bunch of my photos that I have left from my December daily project. And these are all the ones that aren't going into that album, everything that I have left from the month of December. And I am just using whatever photos I have left for this little tag mini album. So if you want to stash bust a whole bunch of photos and just basically one sheet of tags, because that's really all I'm using here is one sheet of tags, you can really use a lot of photos and get them all documented in literally less than an hour. This only took me about an hour, probably a little bit less than that. I think it was honestly about like 45 minutes and I was done with this. So this one came together super quickly. So what I do is I cut apart all the tags to start, and then I just lay out my photos, figure out which ones I want to use and where I want to use them. I did line them up in kind of date order whenever I started this, and then I just went ahead and kind of prepped my tags as I was going. And you can see I have my photos already printed, so I knew which photos I was working with and what I had left from the month. I often go through about every other month and do kind of what I call batch printing, and I print all of my photos from those 2 months, and then I have them all ready to go. I print them in 3.5 by 5, and for some larger ones that I want to scrapbook in some large format, and then I have my wallet size, which is what I'm using here. So these wallet size are a little less than, I think, like 3.5 by 2.5, something roughly around there is what it ends up being. And then as you can see here, I just have to trim off just a little bit to add them to these tags. So I am just trimming them down kind of as I go. And some of these I'm going to put a couple photos on, so I'm going to make them interactive and do like little flip ups and different things. So like for example, this one, we were at the tree farm and I wanted this to flip up, so you can see here I'm just kind of working with it and seeing what I need to do. I'm actually just going to grab another piece here and add that on, so I just have like a little kind of flap basically that I'm just going to glue directly to my photo, and then I'm just going to tuck it into the top of the other photo so it's in behind there and it has something to stick to, if that makes sense. And then all of these tags I'm actually going to bust out my sewing machine as well and do some machine stitching around the whole tag, because it just really adds a little bit of texture, which is something that I love in my projects, and it also makes the tag a little bit more sturdy. So when you're flipping through your little tag album, you don't have to worry about ripping it or anything happening there, because it will strengthen it up a little bit. As you can see there, I did my machine stitching, that's done. I'm going to go ahead and add my letters to the front of this tag. These letters also came in the kits from this month. These are some really cool thickers, so they are foam and they are kind of 3D, but I'm just going to put my year on there and nobody judge me. Yes, I'm still working on 2023, but you know what? I know there's people farther behind than me, and it's okay. It doesn't matter what year we're scrapping, just as long as we're documenting those memories and having fun. So I've got a stamp set here by Ellie's. All I'm doing with that is I just want to add some little hearts to that little tag that I did my journaling on. That little tag is from one of the embellishment packs from that Hard Candy Christmas line that is also in the main kit, I believe. And I just went ahead and used that and added it to the top of this little flip up element. And then that's going to document our tree farm day, where we go and pick out our Christmas tree, cut it down, and bring it home. So then that's going to pretty much finish up this tag. I'm just working on embellishing it. So I'm just going to lightly embellish this tag album. I wanted something that was super quick, and again, using a lot of photos on this one. So I'm really focusing on the photos on this tag album and not embellishing really heavily like I would normally do. So I've just added a little tab on the left side so you can tell that that's a flip up. And then I'm going to go ahead and start working on my next tag. So I'm just working through all of these, kind of showing you my process. I don't normally keep my process in these videos for tag albums or mini albums. I usually create mini albums off camera and then just do like a flip through video, but this one was so quick and I knew it was going to come together fast, so I thought I would just keep my process in here for you and show you how I do these. I've added a little border strip from the ephemera pack to the top of this one. That's something I like to do as well, is add those little scallop borders. And something else I like to do as well, which is an idea for you if you create one of these, is I like to take the little trims like the pom-pom trim and machine stitch them onto the very bottoms of these tags so they look really, really cute whenever all the pages are finished and they have like little trim pieces at the bottoms. It just looks really cute. So that's another thing that I do. Again, for time's sake today, I wanted something that was quick and easy today and used a lot of photos. So I'm basically just going through this, adding my photos, lightly embellishing, adding some little word pieces from the sticker sheet from that Hard Candy Christmas collection, and then just lightly embellishing. And then you'll see how I put it together here at the end. So now that I have my tags all complete and I did all of my machine stitching around them, I'm going to take this little loop that I have. I got a whole set of these off of Amazon. They kind of screw together here, as you can see, but I love using these on mini albums. They're kind of flexible and you can add your charms or anything to them. So I'm going to use a bunch of these trims from the kit. I'm using probably about 4.5 or 5 inch pieces here. And what I'm going to do is just collect a bunch of them in my hand. Then I'm going to just thread them through that loop. And then I am going to just simply tie a piece of embroidery floss to match around them so it looks like a little tassel. So it's super, super easy and quick to do. I didn't want to spend a whole lot of time on this creating an album charm tonight because I just, again, needed something quickly and needed to get my kids into bed. So I just created this little fun thing to put on in there, and it just finishes it off. So here's some close-ups for you. I'm going to link all of the kits down below in the description for you so you can grab that from the shop. And I can link anything else that I've used, like any random bits and pieces, like those little binder pieces for the tops of your albums. And then here is the flip through to show you what the finished album looks like. So again, I will link everything down below for you in the description. As usual, if you have any questions for me, let me know in the comments and I'll do my best to answer. And I hope you all have a great holiday season and get to work on some holiday crafting. And I hope this video inspired you to create a little mini tag album. So thank you all for watching, and I hope you all have a great day. Bye-bye.